Okay, right now I am just spending my time doing some touch up on some items that I had in the mercantile before it closed. Like this little milk bottle here, I had the red and cream homespun fabric on it. I replaced it with the black here, homespun. That's all I've done to that, and that's all I'm going to do. This here was painted with Waverly plaster. I've put a coat of my DIY aviary on it. I'll have to give it another coat and then put a clear coat over it so it's more waterproof. And then this I had in there with a towel, a kitchen towel that I had done. And I've decided I want to try my hand at stamping on a rolling pin. So, why not? It's here. I can do it. I already have the handles painted. I'll paint it with the Waverly plaster. But before I do that, I'm going to take it out and give it a coat of shellac. Well, 2 coats to keep it from, you can see this been used and it's old and stuff may bleed through. So I'm going to give it 2 coats of shellac. Then I have this little ladder thing I made here and never done anything with. I didn't film it or anything. All it is the sideboards are 15 inches long. The little middle pieces are 7. Yeah, they were 7. So I cut 3 7-inch long pieces and 2 15. And I did put a little miter on this. I think it was a 20-degree angle miter. Wouldn't have to do that, but I did. And it's just been setting aside. This is made out of garden stakes. The wooden garden stakes you get and hammer down in the ground and stake up your tomatoes with. Tie your tomatoes to it. I have a bunch of those and I use them here and there for stuff. But I'm going to paint this one up. Probably just paint it and distress it is what I imagine I'll do. Anyways, right now that's what I'm working on. These little small finishing touches. Okay, I have 1 coat of the plaster by Waverly on it. And I'm not going to paint the ends. So I'm going to have to find a place to set it up to where it can dry and then put another coat on it. Well, guys, here goes nothing. I hope I can roll this on there right. Oh, some of it didn't come off, I see. I wonder if I can come back. I'm going to try it. Actually, it doesn't look bad. Looks better than it did because part of it was missing. And look, guys, it crackled. I didn't do that. I don't know if you can see the crackle. And then there's the image. Got a little bit of a double image, but that's all right. Now, I'm going to let that dry a little bit because I think I'm going to try, see if it'll fit. I thought maybe I want to put the lamb, or what is that? Sheep? I can't tell. Let's see, how far over? Probably about right in there on the other side. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to set that on there for just a minute. I need to wipe this off. Worst can happen, I have to sand it down. Gotta start somewhere. Okay. Trying to see about where I'd want that to start. Probably about right in there. I don't know. Let's see what happens. see, I've got some that need to be wiped down. Okay, fun. And on those edges, I don't want that coming off on my rolling pin. Okay, now I wanted that to be like that on the other side. And that's about half and half. So I think about right in there. I hope. Yeah. Could have came this way a little bit, but that's okay. I like that. I like the way that turned out. Better get that away from there. Yeah, that way they can have it that way, or they can turn it this way, whichever. This one's a little blurry. But unless you was really looking and knew what I done, I don't think you'd notice. I like how that looks and how it turned out. Okay, I'm going to wipe this down and I'm going to find something else, because that was kind of, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. You know, I got to thinking. I think I'm going to put a clear wax, let that dry good. I'm going to put a clear wax on it and then go in with the brown wax. Maybe it'll go into the cracks. We'll see, but I'm going to try it. That's a good thing to experiment with. So far it's turned out pretty good if I don't mess it up. I'm going to let this dry good before I put the clear on it. Well, I thought I'd come back and let you know what I was using. The stamps I was using. That's the Iron Orchid Law Campaign stamps. And that's the one where you get the 12 by 12, two different 12 by 12s full of stamps. You have a rooster, a cow, some roses, some berries, just some greenery. I mean, and then you have all these. It has the baby chickens with the mama hen. There's another rooster. There's floral, and then your sheep, and another floral, and a cow. Anyways, they're really nice stamps. And I waited for a long time before I let go and got them, and I'm glad I did, because I've been using them. So they was worth the money for me. Okay, I didn't like how bright white my ladder was turning out, so I'm taking the Special Dark Men Wax finishing wax and just going to go over it and let it sit for a little bit and wipe it down and take some of the bright white off from it. I just wasn't feeling it. Here is the ladder with the dark wax on it, and I think that looks much, much better. It looks old. And it just sets on your countertop up against your backsplash. And you can put whatever kind of towel you want on it. Okay, that one is finished. Okay, I just took the vinegar and steel wool mixture and put it on that. I was trying to take it apart, but I couldn't get this bottom one. I got that up, but the screw, I think, is glued, because you can see where that's glued up here. But I just put the, I needed to go ahead and sand some more. There was still some red around there, but I got it the best I can get it. I just spread the vinegar mixture on it. I'm going to let that dry. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of brown wax, a little heavier on the ends. all the way around on both of them. Yes, now just kind of do this just to give it a little more color because I want it to look old. Wonder if some of that, no, that'd be all right. I was thinking about some of that decrepit dust, but I'll probably use that on this. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just going step by step, trying to figure out what is going to work for it. Okay, I like that color. I think that's fine. Set that aside. This was just some top coat brown by Jolie. Jolie, Joli. Now I'm going to paint the two bases black and go from there. Okay, I've already started. I got this painted the black, and down here I put the decrepit dust, and I'm going to do it on the top too. But I did smear some rub and buff around here because you know the ring, they do have a metal on them. I didn't make a perfect circle, so we're going to see how that works out. But I'm going to take some clear wax and put it on. Make sure this is dry. That's good enough. And I'm going to put it on my... Ooh, I'm smearing the... I thought it was good. That's good enough, though, for that. Putting a clear wax on it. And I don't know what I'm doing as usual, but I'm a-doing it. I wonder if I can go around that. Kind of wipe some of that off. Yeah, that helped. It's not really going to matter because I am going to have the decrepit dust on it. All right, there. I'm back around it with my wax. Then I'm just going to pounce in here, and that's it. I'm not going to make a circle. Now, let's see, what are we going to do from here? Let's see. Oh boy. That's on my brush. I did want some. I'm going to have to get me another brush because I wanted some down in there. Try it with my finger. I'm just going to pat this on. Just going to ad-lib it. It'll work down here, so... I just want it to look old. Now we're up here on the top. Okay, I think that worked. It looked like there's a metal band up there. I think that worked. It looks old. Okay, I'm going to set it aside and let it all dry and not mess with it. I don't see any black coming through. And I like the way it looks up here. Okay, go set it aside and let it dry. I need a grubby candle for my spool, so I got this candle at the thrift store, so I've been cutting it or chopping it up, and I'm going to put some in a can. It's the fastest way I can get it done. And that'll be enough for that one candle, and I'll probably have some left. So I'm going to put it down in my, bring you over here, move stuff out of the way. I have a Fry Daddy, and I'm just gonna, probably got too much water. I think it might stay up. Hopefully it does. Yeah, it'll sit there. And I've got it on 200, and I'm gonna let that melt so I can grubby my candle to go on my spool. I decided I wanted my, let me see what this looks like. It is dark brown, but I want it a little darker. So I'm gonna put some black. I make candles, and I had some black colorant, wax, whatever it is. Anyways, I've never used the black. I had it, so I'm gonna try some in here. Just scraping it. Okay, let's kind of, this stuff's gonna be all over me. See what this looks like with that black put in it. Okay. I think it needs more. I have that going down in my water. Maybe I ought to do this on something and then put it in there. I'm gonna do it on my towel because it's got a lot going in my water. Okay, there. Okay. Stir it up some more. I probably won't add any more than that, but okay, compared to over here. Yeah, see, that's even darker than the first. There's the first one. There's where I added some, and that's that. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to turn this off. Is that too hot for me? No. Set this aside. I'm going to let my wax cool just a little bit. I'm going to let it cool and then I'll be back. Okay, it's still liquid, but it is starting to harden up, but it's still a liquid. I'm going to go ahead, whoops, and start on that, on the candle. Yeah, it's starting to congeal. And it's kind of hard to get out in here. It may be too congealed. Yeah, I let it harden just a little too long. That's okay, I can put texture on it that way. You know, everything I do turns out different. Okay. Oh yeah, I like it with the texture. Almost made to put it down in the water again. It's really runny, but as soon as I bring it out, it is. It's different than the other ones I've done, but it's working. I like the color. I like the black. I'm not an expert at anything I do. I just do it. Right there. A little right there. This screws off the top to put the batteries in, not the bottom. Okay, get some of that lump off. I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating and looking. I like the color. I like the texture. So it worked. Okay, I'm going to peel some of it off right around here where it goes into the candle holder. Make sure I don't get too much. I got a little too much right there. Well. Okay, where's my little candle holder I brought in here? So I can let it dry. I'm going to put a little more around some of the edges. Boy, my wax is really congealing now. Just that little bit sticking that down in there helped. Okay, where's my holder? I think it'll go down in the other one further. Oh, I'm up out of the camera. Okay, I'm going to let that dry good. And that is the color I was looking for. I wanted a darker color. Okay, and then up here, you put wax on this. It's just going to, every time you turn this, it's going to peel. So I do have I've had it a long time. It's a stencil, something, a little container you used to use when you're stenciling, you know, and you have your stencils and you dip down in that stencil cream. It was a stencil cream, and I'll put that on. I have one in brown, and I'll put that on there and let it set for a couple days before I touch it, and it doesn't rub off that way. It stays. Here's how the spool turned out. I kept it simple because I started adding things on it and taking it away. And in the end, just a little homespun bow just looked cute on it. And it didn't really need any more. And I'll take you down here where you can see the decrepit dust and the cracks and some on the black. And then the silver that I added. Kind of makes it look like there's a metal plate there. And then there's the texture. I need to get this way. My lighting all of a sudden went bad. There, it's coming back up. There's the texture on my candle. And I like how it turned out. Alright guys, I'm going to be getting ready for my craft show this weekend. Maybe if I find some more things that I want to add a little something to, I'll show that. But if not, I won't see you till next week. So y'all have a good week and a good weekend until the next one. We'll see you later.